Okay, so toward the end of the first hour, I was talking about the war on red rice yeast, and if you go, you can find it on the shelves or something like Walmart. I don't know if you have it at Walmart, but they have it at Sam's, and I'm sure in other places you can find it. But you don't know. Does it contain the active ingredient still, or was it removed? You don't know because they're not saying that on the bottle. So did the FDA win all the way or not? I don't know. I know what they tell you is you're supposed to take that along with CoQ10. So maybe that balances the fact that the real active ingredient is being removed or reduced in amount. I don't know. Okay? But the point is that for the benefit of the public? I don't think so, because, okay, citrulline supposedly is no longer there, but there was a group of doctors that were complaining that FDA is not regulating the producer of red rice yeast because some of their products still contain lovastatin, and they should. And actually, the members of the AMA are leaning on FDA, that they should control them and regulate them more. Now, FDA said that, of course, there are a bunch of crooks too, but FDA said that they could not control something that is listed as dietary supplement. If something that is listed as dietary supplement, then FDA cannot step in and tell them what they can and cannot do. They cannot regulate them. Just like the compounding pharmacies. As long as they stay as compounding pharmacies, FDA cannot regulate them. However, they can even close them down, but they can ruin them financially by saying you have to recall this and that product. And there is a new one I'll discuss in a little bit. That one, there is a new one that they are doing that too. But remember what I told you about this compounding pharmacies in Texas, and I don't remember the name, and if it is one or a chain, I don't remember. Okay, I would have to look at my paper way back a few months to tell you. But what this compounding pharmacy do when FDA said you have to recall this product because it's suspicious, there is not enough, what did they say? Sterile. And they're always playing on the sterile game. Is the sterile enough? They pulled that one on me too, which was a bunch of malarkey. So they use that, which is a phony. And they say it's not sterile enough and you have to recall your product. Well, that particular pharmacy said, no way, no how, it's not going to happen. We're not recalling anything. Okay? So, as I said, the FDA used the only weapon they had and started slandering them. But they really couldn't make him do that, close them down. They couldn't ruin them financially. If people ignore what FDA said and still bought their product, then FDA behavior would have been worthless. I don't know if there are people out there that actually listen to FDA still. I don't know. Okay? They shouldn't, but there probably are some. Well, anyway, so is the red rice yeast that you buy off the shelf, either at Sam's or somewhere else, does that contain the active ingredient so it can really be effective on your cholesterol? Nobody knows. There is no telling. Now I gave it to a friend of mine. There are some tests you can do, but they are, you have to have a chemical lab to do it. There are some tests you can do to find out if it's there. I guess FDA is not doing it because, by the way, one of the problems that FDA is pointing out is they're not familiar with which ones are all the producer of dietary supplement. And if you look at the things you buy, even though you know exactly what it's for, as like echinacea or anything. What is it called? Dietary supplement. So keep in mind that that is good. That protects you and the producer of that compound because it keeps that FDA off their back. So if they say dietary supplement, FDA cannot intervene, cannot do anything. That's why they're doing the sterile game. Oh, this product is not sterilized enough, is not sterile enough, is not properly, the sterilization process is not proper. These drugs are, and there is another one, the latest one that came published on January 15, okay? It's Frank's Compounding Lab, a compounding pharmacy in Ocala, Florida. And they have been informed by FDA that they have recalled all of their sterile products, all of them, because of contamination concerns, not evidence that they are contaminated, they're just concerned. FDA is concerned that this product might be contaminated. So the compounding pharmacy has to recall all of their sterile products. I mean, that can financially ruin an organization. Yes, officially FDA cannot close them down, but it sure can cause them to have to close down because they have been financially ruined. That's why I said, come on, guys, more of you come up and say, no, 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 go away. We are not recalling anything because there is nothing, we know there is nothing wrong with our product. Don't call us. We won't call you. We are not going to do it. No, no way, no how. That's what we need. Compounding pharmacies to stand up and fight for their survival because that's what FDA is after, destroying them. The FDA cannot close them down, but they can go in and they can actually say that they have to recall the product and cover up the expense, and they have to accept that. They don't. And people that are told, send back the product, don't do it. You know there is nothing wrong with it. They keep using it. Don't do it. Don't listen to FDA. FDA is a crooked organization. Is lying through their teeth to get what they want. And by getting competition to pharmaceutical company closed down, what they are accomplishing? It's job security. Because as long as that happens, the drug company make money, and if that happens, they pay FDA for testing, they pay FDA for whatever, and FDA officially and unofficially. I like to know what's the unofficial pay. Wouldn't you? But, so, it's all an issue of money, and none of it is for your own good, in spite of what they claim. And this is happening everywhere. I mean, the U.S. used to be a good... I was just talking with somebody today about how the U.S. used to be a good country and no longer is. It's a lot more similar and following the behavior of Europe. More time passes by, the more it's like being in Europe. That was my conclusion. I left Europe because I didn't like the things that were going on there, besides wanting to marry my first husband. But I left Europe, but I didn't like anything that was going on. And now it's happening here, just like in Europe. I mean, come on, wait a minute. What is going on here? We want our country back, the way it used to be. And we need to fight back to get it back, because it's not going to happen naturally. Naturally, it's only going to get worse. So let's do something and put an end to it. Yeah, and now let's go back. Well, yeah, see that the work of FDA says to doctor to limit the use of acetaminophen, especially in conjunction with other products and other drugs. Okay, guys, do you know how long acetaminophen has been around? Do you know how long acetaminophen has been used? It's off the shelf. So think about it. Now, all of a sudden, oh, don't prescribe it. Well, now acetaminophen is no longer prescribed unless it's combined with other products like I usually, opioid, hydrocodone, oxycodone, codeine, opioid drugs that are prescription. Those are combined with acetaminophen, and people have been using it like candy for a long, long time, and doctors are prescribing them like crazy. So how come now they said you have to limit? And no, it's not good. None of it is good, including most of all the opioid they're combined with. But why now? That's my question. It's not honesty. So I don't know. Why is it now? I'll tell you. Anyway. But then there is a good news. Yeah. You know that for years, and it still is, pancreatic cancer has been killing people like flies, even though the medical tells you that they're so great, that they have developed such great drugs that you can extend their life to 15 months. Actually, that's a natural survival of chemotherapy compound is 15 months. That's pretty average. So they haven't extended anything. They haven't accomplished anything good to people. But now, there is such a wonder. There are experimental vaccines, and these experimental vaccines may extend the life of pancreatic cancer patients. Now, listen what I said. What I said in this article says, experimental vaccine, and the may, experimental, and the phrase may. So, first of all, what do you mean vaccine? Oh yeah, it's a vaccine against pancreatic cancer. Okay. How do you create a vaccine that helps a human be vaccinated against his own cells? Because cancer is your own cells that go kind of bonkers, and the signal that tells the cell to grow never goes off. So the cell is in constant growth. And that's what cancer is. Growth out of control. How you vaccinate against it? Not gonna happen. It's a malfunction. Cancer is not a disease. I've said that many times, and of course I have had all sorts of attacks on that. Cancer is not a disease. Cancer is a malfunction. It's just like an electronic and a component that has certain things and parts that have certain activity. And one of the components goes haywire and doesn't work properly anymore. What do? You bypass it. Because in many systems, you cannot remove that component. Okay? Is in a position where you cannot remove it. If you cannot remove it, you bypass it and basically put it out of operation. Okay? And in a human body, you cannot remove something and not cause a serious problem. And that's what I was trying to explain to people that are prone to run for surgery. You cannot do that. Because in the human body, it's not like an actual electronic system. There is blood flowing, and you go and remove something, the blood will spill, will spread, and with it will spread the cancer cell. But they tell you, well, but we use clean margin and remove a lot, and remove all the area where the spreading cells can be. No, you cannot do that, because when you start cutting it, and it spreads everywhere. So you cannot really do that. But What do? You put it out of order. And that's what we were doing. Kill it in place without any collateral damage. And then that's it. It's dead, it's out of control, it's bypassed. It's not going to affect anything other than you have to wait that the body removes the dead tissue. So, but that is not allowed. That needs to have FDA rating in place. No matter how small the place, it has to rate it, put everything away, steal everything so the person cannot continue and the public can not find out what is really going on. That's how you steal. That's why you steal also the advertising bumper sticker that advertise the medical conspiracy radio show. That's why you steal those also, right? Take everything, even those. And I know that this show is still a porn side, but they're still happy that I don't have that much of an audience, or at least we don't think so. Who knows? It's hard, as I said, it's hard to determine how many people are actually listening. And it's even harder to find out how many people are actually following. That's even harder to find out. But let me tell you something. Something else has come out. This is not part of the conspiracy in medicine, but it's part of the conspiracy against humanity and against human freedom, okay? Because you know that for years and years we have been told that we have to wear a seatbelt, okay? And we have to have, and the cars that are sold are equipped with the airbag, because we must have an airbag and we must have a seatbelt. If not, you get fined. Now, we are not yet in the at the state that you get fined if you don't have a airbag. At least I don't think so, because they all come from the manufacturer with the seatbelt. And now, if that breaks and stop working, I don't know who gets fined if they do. I don't know. Okay, that's hard to tell. But the airbag are apparently focused, and they have been used to say airbag is so great. Well, as it turned out, they are not so great. And you know, and you have known all along that for a small person, the airbag is actually dangerous. For a big one, no, but for a small person, the airbag, for a small person, the airbag can be bad. And get this newest article, dated January 17, discusses, it's a review done at the University of Tennessee Health Science Center in Memphis. And what this article indicates that there can be hidden cardiac injuries, especially when the airbag is deployed at low speed. A person is going on at low speed, gets into an accident, the airbag breaks out. That is the worst condition. And they have discovered that can do damage to a small woman. And, you know, the subject interests me because I'm part of that category, okay? And what they're claiming is it can cause heart injury that are not evident immediately. So basically, a person is victim of a crash, goes into the hospital to make sure that heaven knows why, but they go to the hospital to find out if everything else is normal. And even if the doctor, like this example, has discovered that it doesn't do, they have concluded that it doesn't do any damage immediately after the accident. Well, apparently, later down the road, a person can display cardiac problems that were not evident at the time of the crash, but they were caused by the crash. Wonderful, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and what's the solution? Well, not having the airbag removed, not anything, just the solution is manufacturer of airbag need to work to improve them. Gee, that's great. And what happens in the meantime? What happens if they can't? Oh, well, too bad for the public. Yep. Especially women. Especially small women. I mean, are we crazy or what? And this is actually going on in this country. It's just unbelievable. It's amazing that they haven't discovered that causes cancer, and they're going to say, oh, well, we'll get better airbag later down the line. And what about the used cars? Well, that's what. Guy. All right. Just, we don't care. And that's what it really comes down to. Nobody cares. Not in the healthcare section. Anyway, so those are the main things going on, and none of those are very good. They're all kind of scary. But
we got about 20 seconds.
Okay. What I was planning to talk into the second hour when I occupied it from the second hour is start a discussion that brings us back to cancer, to make people more aware.
Real Alternative Radio. We are OrionTalkRadio.com.
At Orion Talk Radio, we're constantly working hard on your behalf. But the fight for freedom could not be fought without you. So we want to hear what you have to say at 888-272-4434.
Wow, I have never heard talk radio like this before.
Y'all got a really good thing going, and we really appreciate it here. We're from Alabama, and thank y'all so very, very much. Thank you.
Hi, guys. Good job and all. My name's Wayne from Alberta, Canada. Good work, guys.
I agree with your defense of the First Amendment, religion, speech, press, the right to assemble.
Hey, I think Orion Radio is spectacular and awesome.
Hey, I just wanted to call and tell you I'm a great supporter of your radio broadcast. Anyway, good to hear some refreshing information, very intelligent speech. Keep up the good work. Thank you.
At Orion Talk Radio, we're waiting for your call. 888-272-4434.
Okay, we're back from the advertising break. And what I was trying to say before is that I had tried to, and I had actually put together this seminar discussing what is really the biggest conspiracy of the medical establishment is cancer. And it's a big industry, and it's really the biggest form of conspiracy. Keeping people afraid of cancer, keeping people convinced that they cannot fight it and there is no solution. So I had put together this seminar, and it's been hard to get somebody to invite me to present the seminar, but, you know, that's the way it goes in life. But I thought, since this is my show, I don't have to ask permission to say anything, and I thought maybe it's a good thing to discuss it here now. Of course, it's a 2-hour thing, so I was going to start on the second hour of the show and ended up the second half, so part of the second half, but I'll eventually get it done. And one of the things I wanted to say is, when you're wondering and worrying about cancer, there are certain questions that come to mind, okay? And the first one is the cause. What causes cancer? And of course, nobody has answer to that. And you know why? Not because they don't have the answer to that. It's because it's not convenient to expose it. So they come with this ridiculous statement like, it's the food you eat that will cause cancer, or it's genetic, or bad habits in life. And I am sure that all of those might be contributors. But the main cause is that, no. From what I have seen all these years, I came to an abrupt end in 2012, but still what I've seen exists, and I still talk to people. And the main thing that has been over the years the cause of cancer, compared with the fact of the steady increase over the last 50 years, okay, compared to what it used to be, it's coincide with the success of the drug companies. The bigger, stronger, wealthier, and more controlling the drug company have become, the more cancer has spread. There has got to be a connection there. The other connection is the environment, okay? In the past years, and in the past 50 years, the acceptable background radiation level has been steadily increasing. All the government agencies are telling us that it is safe to have this level, to have that level, has been steadily increasing. And they masquerade it by saying, oh no, yeah, it's higher, but it's okay, and it's not that bad, and we can live with it. But it keeps increasing, the acceptable level. How could that be? How could that be that the acceptable level keeps increasing and is still acceptable? I mean, what kind of ridiculous game is this? And how stupid do you think the public is? Just like the game of the global warming. How stupid do you think people are? But see, the background level and the contamination in the soil has been increasing over the years, getting worse and worse, just like the number of medication that people are put on has been increasing. Those are the two factors that have created a problem. And as a result are the two factors that they are, because those are the major changes in our life. Those are the ones that affected the cancer rate. So the cancer rate has gone up, and those factors have been aggravated. Gee, is there a connection? Of course there is. How else would you justify that a person that has never taken any drugs in his or her life end up getting cancer? But they love doing gardening. Okay? Yeah. So there you have it. And then there are the people that have never done any gardening, are really not that much of an outdoor person, but they are drug junkies, legal drug junkies, and they get more and more problems and more medication, and those are the two major factors. So, can cancer be prevented? Of course not, unless we get wise and avoid medication. Yeah, that can happen and that will reduce it. But what about the cases of cancer that derive from the environment? You can't avoid that. They're still going to be around as long as we live on this planet, under this condition. So, what it is, and by the way, cancer is not a disease. I said that before. It's a malfunction. What is cancer? Cell growing out of control. Something in the environment or the drugs that a person is taking are affecting the growth pattern of cells in the body. And when they grow out of control, then that's what cancer occurs. Now what they're saying, okay, but we all have malfunctioning cancer cells throughout our body, but not everybody gets cancer.
Sorry.
Are you doing okay? Are you doing okay?
Yeah, sorry.
That's no problem, but I mean, you still have the cough and you're not over yet?
Oh, every once in a blue moon.
That's better.
It's just not as bad as it was.
No. Otherwise, you couldn't talk. All you were doing is coughing. But anyway, going back to our, what is considered our enemy, cancer. Yes, we all have photo cells that are malfunctioning and are potentially developing cancer. Okay, but the body can eliminate them. So how come it reaches a point that the body cannot control them anymore? And of course, the alternative practitioner come into play and say, well, that's because your immune system wasn't strong enough. So we are going to strengthen your immune system and then you'll be okay. And then, of course, people go to an alternative practitioner, spend a fortune, and don't see anything. Nothing of significant effect is happening. They cannot do that. They cannot do it. The immune system can attack a photo cell that are malfunctioning because it detects them and it knows what they are. But if you have something like the environment or drugs that are causing the malfunctioning cell to grow and you cannot stop it, well, then I don't care how strong the immune system is. Nothing is going to happen. People can get so many supplements that the immune system is so developed that they look like they're going to jump out of their skin. And it does affect the skin. It does affect, and you end up with a rash that is horrible. And then you end up with lytic lesion in the bone, which look exactly like what is caused by bone cancer. So the doctor says, oh, you have metastasis. You have bone cancer. No, you've been taking too much of the... And it's hard to distinguish the two unless you know what the truth is about, immune system booster, and you know that the patient is taking a lot, too many immune system boosters. That's one thing. You can't do that. And you recognize what was going on. But if you think that there is something that is suspicious, there are a few things you can do. And you don't have to allow the system to do dangerous testing or cutting or, removing a piece to do a biopsy or anything. You don't have to do that. There are other tests you can allow. And usually you go to an alternative practitioner and that can do that for you. To find out. Now, in many cases, all you would need is an ultrasound. But unfortunately, there you have it. You are hitting the medical establishment. They will not do an ultrasound, which is the actual thing that will tell you if what you have is cancer. They will not do an ultrasound as a first resort. They won't. They will do a biopsy. They will do a chemistry. Well, they don't go into the chemistry test. They should, but they're not. But they're going to go for a PET scan. They're going to go for MRI, CT scan. All of those are not good for you because in a way, form or another, including radiation. So that is not, and they're really expensive. Those are the first line for the medical establishment. And then what they'll do is, okay, in the end, they'll finally do the ultrasound, which is the only thing that was needed. And then, well, even though the ultrasound with color Doppler can tell you without a doubt whether it's cancer or not, because it can tell you if there is blood flow, not regular blood flow, a lot of unusual amount of capillary blood flow into the tumor, it can tell you that it's cancer. And then, what do you do then? Now you know that is it. Actually, is the big C that is affecting you. What do you do with that? you have to make a choice. And the people that did the testing are telling you, you must. And see, when you hear the word must, you just should run the other way. You must have surgery, chemo, radiation. Those are the three choices. Oh, but you have lots of choices. Yes, these are three. The permutation of 3 is 6, so there are 6 possibilities that we can give. Chemo, radiation, surgery, surgery, chemo, radiation, radiation, chemo, surgery. 6 possibilities on how you place the chemo, radiation, surgery, which order they go in. And it sounds ridiculous, and it is, but they pass it as real. And then they tell you, oh, but we have a lot of choices because there are so many drugs you could have. And we're going to pick the right drugs for you. The right drugs for you make the treatment specific. It's tailored just for you. Oh, yeah. Sure. Well, and we can always vaccinate you. Okay. Is vaccination possible? No. Cancer is not a bacteria. You cannot vaccinate against cancer. And let me tell you something. If you could, you would kill the person. Because you're killing the active ingredient in the cancer, which is your cells. And then you're killing it. Those of cancer as the same as healthy cells, so you kill the person. There's no possibility of immunization. But you have all these choices in treatment. Now, mind you, you could not make it, but you put up a fight. You must fight. And see, that's a commercial I've seen. I find it revolting, okay? Obscene. It's from a children's hospital. No. It's not the Children's Hospital. It's a similar organization. It's, what's the other one? With the Jewish name, what is it?
St. Jude?
Yes. St. Jude Hospital, advertising. And they're showing all these kids without hair. Of course, they're actors because they're not pale, they're not, and not lost weight, they are not frail, but they're showing it without hair. It's just propaganda, okay? And saying, oh, you must be strong and you must fight. Yeah, fight what? The treatment, that's what. Fight back and try to survive. The treatment that is killing cancer and is killing you. It's disgusting. And these little kids saying, oh, you must fight, you must fight. Because they're told to say that. Those are actors anyway, because as I told you, they don't look sick at all. But the whole thing is revolting. Oh, these people give my child back to me. Oh, they are so great. Yeah, how they gave you the child back to you? What condition? You know, it's just a revolting advertising. But they keep pushing it, and some people actually believe that. And it is scary. Because it's misinformation, it's brainwashing the public into accepting what they are handing out and not doing anything to fight back. It is. And then, of course, there are parents that say, well, I really don't want my child to go through, or I myself don't want to go through standard treatment because they realize the standard treatment is certain death. So, what do? They look for alternative. All right. What does alternative mean? Alternative means that you are not going through the normal route of the 6 choices, plus the different choices of chemicals. You're not going that route, you're going some other way. Try to fight the cancer naturally. Okay? Well, what does the alternative route and alternative care actually offer to patients. What does it offer? One of the first things you are told is that your lifestyle is totally wrong. You have to change. You have to change everything in your lifestyle. And that includes what you eat and drink. Yeah, you need to walk, which is something correct, and you know, your exercise habit and everything. Most of all, you have to take supplements. And what are they? Well, first of all, you must boost your immune system to fight the cancer. And I already told you, if anything that boosting the immune system does is make the cancer grow faster. Don't do it. It's not going to help anything because your immune system cannot attack a grown tumor. The cancer is growing, your immune system cannot do anything about it. It can help you after it's dead, it can help you before you develop it, but it cannot help you once you have it. It's not an issue. So when they give you immune boosters, they're actually, if anything, doing nothing, or they're helping the cancer grow faster. And then what's the other thing? Oh, vitamin C infusion. Let me tell you something. Vitamin C infusion in massive quantity, not just a little bit to boost your immune system, or a little bit to just fight infections. No, they're telling you massive amount of vitamin C. What does that do? Well, for one thing, massive amount of vitamin C are corrosive. It's a corrosive that you're putting in your body. So, the body becomes what? Attacking the cancer, but is attacking what? It's a corrosive, so it's attacking the encapsulation. And there we go again, what we disagree totally. The alternative practitioner claim that encapsulation is developed by the cancer to protect itself from the attack of the immune system. So if you destroy the encapsulation, the immune system can come in and kill the cancer. Yes, and the cow jumped over the moon. Okay? All right. Okay, the encapsulation is made out of a collagen stringy tissue. And what is it? Something that is put there by the body to protect, by the immune system to protect the body from a extraneous invader. And it's done when there is an infection. You have this stringy tissue. If they don't take out the infection fast enough, then you can see the collagen, a stringy tissue that you can remove, and the doctor can remove and see. It is formed by the immune system to attack whatever should not be there, including the tumor. So
30
the encapsulation.
seconds, by the way.
Oh man, and we are done with the first hour, second hour.
That's the show.
We're done with the show.
Yep, that's it.
Oh, okay. So all I can say is I'll continue next time, the same place, the same time. But keep in mind that encapsulation is your friend, okay? And you don't want to destroy it. Okay, we're done with the show. Have a good week. I hope everything works fine for you and you don't get sick.